and welcome to my YouTube channel, Living in Chicagoland Suburbs. Today's topic is going to be one that's near and dear to my heart. We're going to discuss a complex subdivision out in the northwest suburbs of Chicago called Lake Barrington Shores. I've been selling there for a number of years, going all the way back into the 90s. And I want to tell you a little bit about it, and also give you some notion of what's happening in that complex now. The construction out there was started in the 70s and was completed sometime in I believe it was the late 90s. I don't know that it really matters. But it's important to know that it's a gated community with 24-hour security, and any guests who want to come in there have to go through a main gate, and they're vetted by the security guards at that gate, along with a roaming vehicle of security that travels around the complex of almost 1,400 units. It's a pretty sizable location, and you can see why it took almost 25 years for it it celebrated its 50th anniversary recently, but it took over 25 to 30 years to complete the construction of all 1,400 and some units within the complex. The property itself is all multiple family. There are no single family homes within the complex as it exists today, and it is completely built out. So the only properties that are available in Lake Barrington Shores are resale properties that have been there for any given number of years. One of the complaints oftentimes about the Lake Barrington Shores purchases refer to the rather high HOA charges that come at you every month when you live in Lake Barrington Shores. It's important to note that these HOAs, although they're a little pricey from time to time, afford you a tremendous amount of amenities that go with it. The obvious ones are snow plowing in the winter, lawn care in the spring and summer months. All your landscaping is handled by in-house properties. The exterior parts of all of your structure are dealt with by that HOA payment. That includes painting, roofs, etc. The only thing that the homeowner is typically responsible for is the replacement of windows, doors, and the decks. Many, if not all, not them, but the vast majority of them do have a deck involved in their construction. I had a client in there a number of years ago, maybe a half dozen or more years, coming from a larger single-family home in a rather nice suburban complex, this little village of Long Grove. His home was in excess of an acre of land. It was a large ranch, probably 4,000 square feet or more, and he was looking to downsize and come into a cared-for community, one that he didn't have to be responsible for the exterior, etc. He said, "Boy, Denny, these HOA prices they're up here." And I said, "Well, you're right, but what you get for that is rather substantial." And so he went home and sat down with a yellow pad and put pros and cons on the side of the line. And he called me back several days later, and he says, he said, "This HOA compared to what I'm paying for my services now, I mean, a guy cutting my lawn every other week, and he's got a shrubbery guy out here and my trees. And then I have the same guy comes out in the winter, and he plows my driveway, which is substantial, and I'm paying for my scavenger and my water and my cable TV and all that, and there's like $15 difference. Now that's $15 more, but wow, you get a whole lot of stuff for that." And I reminded him, I said, not only do you get all that, but you also get a 5-acre lake that you are free to sail on and order a boat from the marina in the shores, and those boats don't cost you anything to use. You just put yourself on a schedule. There is one charge for a pontoon boat that you have to rent. It's usually a party boat, but you've got that. Your clubhouse, which houses a number of meeting rooms, small and large. It also has an exercise facility inside with state-of-the-art equipment. It's got 2 pools, one indoor, one outdoor. There's several tennis courts. There's pickleball courts. There's bocce courts. I'm telling you what, for $15, you're getting a whole lot of extra stuff. Now, if you're going to take advantage of those things, certainly why the HOA becomes much less of an issue for you. But it is fair to bring them up to your attention. The other reason I'm talking to you today is we're in the throes of a kind of cold spring in Illinois, and many people think it's really not a good time to be selling a house or a condo or a town or whatever. It's not looking its best, etc., etc. And it's true, but there are other reasons to consider putting your property on sale. And in Lake Barrington Shores, I'm going to give you a little tip. For the past several years, I have always been providing for the residents here, at least several hundreds of them, my sales report that comes out every couple of months. And it calls attention to the properties that have sold or are under contract or rented or whatever the case might be. And I just recently, this week, sent out this month's edition. And in that edition, we noted that there were only 3 units for sale actively in all of Lake Barrington Shores, a place that houses almost 1,400 units. There were 3 properties that went under contract during that time, so that's a total of 6 6 are alive and well at this time. However, it's interesting to note also there are no rentals whatsoever on the market, and there haven't been any properties there for the past 4 months. That's typically something that happens. Rentals come on the market when the sales are difficult to come by. That's usually due to high interest rates or a glut on the market, etc. So, interestingly, there are no rentals on the market right now. There were 14 closings. Now, those closings ranged in price tag from around $297,000 to a whopping $525,000. On the market right now, there are, I'll give you the exact number. On the market, there's one 279.9 at the low end, and at the high end, there's one listed at $399,000. So, if you're in a little higher bracket or a slightly lower bracket, you're going to want to rethink maybe about putting your property on the market if you happen to live in Lake Barrington Shores. Now, I grant you that's a microcosm of what's going on in Illinois right now, but it's a specific area, and there's a lot to choose from in there. So it's something that you might want to stick in your back pocket and say, I don't know if I live there. The other question is, if you want to move into Lake Barrington Shores, is it a good time to do that? Well, your choices are limited, what's available out there. I myself am going to put one on the market in the next couple of weeks that'll range somewhere in the 400s. It's a rather large unit. It has a lower level walkout. It's got 3 bedrooms, depending on what you want to do. With one room down in the lower level. So you're going to be limited, although I will promise you that in the next couple of months, and once we get into March and April, you're going to see a significant number of properties that come on the market in Lake Barrington Shores. So put that in the back of your situation. Let's see if I had anything else to note for you here. No. So that's Lake Barrington Shores in a nutshell. Don't forget the 24-hour security. Don't forget the gated community part of it. The fact that you've got a security vehicle traveling in and around the various streets that comprise Lake Barrington Shores, and that you have a one entrance location for guests or non-residents. Residents, however, do have a transponder that gets them through that main gate rather easily, but there are also several other gates, 4 additional gates throughout the complex on roads, boundary roads surrounding the complex of, I forget how many square miles are involved. I know that the lake is a 5-acre lake, but there are walking paths, bike paths. There's even part of a forest reserve is enclosed in Lake Barrington Shores. So if it's a place you want to look, you might want to keep your eye on it, or give me a call and I'll set up a search for you when I know what you're looking for. Speaking of that, if you liked what you heard today and you want to subscribe to my channel, press that button on the screen there, and that'll subscribe you automatically, and you'll get notified whenever we have a new session coming on. Typically, it's 1 or 2 a week. During the winter months, we were a little lax in our presentations, but coming with the spring, we should ramp up again, and you'll see much and more of it. That's if you want to wait around. You can also go on there. There's 37 different videos on various topics that pertain to real estate, oftentimes pertain specifically to areas of the northwest suburbs. But if you got a burning question, and boy, you got to have an answer right now, I certainly feel free to call me. 847-651-2582 is my number. I'm Dennis Cecil with Baird & Warner Real Estate. My office is in Arlington Heights, hop, skip, and a jump away from Barrington and Lake Barrington Hills. Once again, 847-651-2582. Dennis Cecil, Baird & Warner Real Estate. You all take care now and be safe. Stay warm, be safe. Talk to you again sometime soon.